Hey traders, welcome to Coffee with Keith. As always, we're going to start off with the Coffee Cash contract on the daily time frame. We've clearly broken out of this rising wedge pattern. We've made a new high again today. We've closed above this previous high. Taking a look here on the 30-minute time frame, apart from trading inside of a larger rising wedge pattern right here that we saw on the daily, we've also formed a rising wedge pattern here on a 30-minute time frame that started to form just above this previous resistance, which turned into support just above the resistance of the daily rising wedge pattern. We had made a high here before we stalled and came back down towards this level to test it again various times, pushed back up into this level and rejected it before pushing back down again. And here we got a very nice test. Long push down. Bulls pushed it back up by the end of the session. Long wick. And bulls kept control, forming a long-tailed bullish engulfing patterns. These are one of my favorite patterns. They're very, very strong. We pushed back up to this resistance area and just blew right through it before stalling up here, pulling back, tested this area again, now as support, held, and we didn't close back below this area for the rest of the session before pushing back up. And we've formed a rising wedge pattern, trading in consolidation. And rising wedges are usually bearish in nature, but at the same time, inside of this rising wedge pattern, we have a symmetrical triangle right off of this up move here, which implies that it could be a bullish breakout. So what I do know now is that the recent weather in the area where Brazil grows the majority of its coffee hasn't had rain in a long time. So it's a drought. They're saying that drought is worse than the one in 1981, I believe the year was. So it's damaged a lot of the crops for next year, and that's what's keeping prices elevated. In the event there happens to be, a nice rain shower, they're saying that probably won't help the crops anymore, but I'm sure that would bring the prices back down, maybe significantly. So we are very extended, I'm seeing here, but at the same time, because of what's going on now with the weather there, that's keeping the prices elevated. So tomorrow we'll see if we continue to move up and continue to make new highs, or if we just stall and trade sideways, or if we come back down and test an area, maybe this area or this area again after breaking out of this rising wedge. There are a lot of possibilities. I haven't traded coffee much this week because there's just a lot of uncertainty. I was actually, I mentioned before in a previous video earlier this week, I was waiting. We opened here and I was waiting for some type of pullback back into this area to retest before pushing up, but the price just moved without me. I completely missed the trade. So since missing this trade, I haven't traded coffee in a few days, and we'll see tomorrow what happens. Some other things that I've been looking at that are on my radar was gasoline. I previously had a long position. I had since closed it as soon as price continued to close down on this candle here. This is the daily, but if I move to the 4-hour time frame, as soon as we got a close below here on the 4-hour basis, even though we do have a long wick there suggesting that the bulls were still possibly in control, I just immediately closed. And I didn't want any more with gasoline for the moment. And it looks like we're going to pull back to this falling wedge support, possibly to test it again. If that holds, I'll look at possibly getting long again. But until then, I don't have any positions in gasoline. Soybean meal is on my radar. We've rejected this area here, pushed back up, didn't quite make it to this resistance area, and now we just moving, no real movement, just moving sideways. We look at the 4-hour time frame, and it's just ranging from here. We could push back down into this level again to test it again, but for now, there's nothing for me here on this instrument either. Boeing is on my radar. We're at a level here that's pretty significant. Wheat also on my radar. We've just rejected this. This is actually a valid entry. I won't be entering, but this is actually a valid entry. Double top right here. What else do we have here? Corn. Few patterns here, but nothing significant. I'm sure if I scale it down in the 4-hour time frame, there may be some type of opportunity here. Yeah. If I were to enter here, it'd be 60 pip risk, but not enough reward. So nothing for me here on corn either. Finally, the dollar. I don't trade the dollar, but I do monitor it, and we're still holding up above this area here, significant area. We're just sitting here on support. Yesterday was a massive impulse move up. Gap down at the open, but ended up closing up at the highs. Today, we retested this area and rejected it. So we'll see what happens when this market opens up again. Natural gas, I am short. We're here up here at these levels here. I entered on this candle here. Today we got a nice bearish day downward. So we'll see if we can continue that momentum down. We have a rising window here. This is my first area of interest. As soon as we make it down there, if we do, I'll be moving this position to break even and looking to see if we can possibly push down to test this double bottom neckline as new support or potentially break through. But first area of assessment is here, this rising window. Second area is this double bottom neckline. And that's pretty much it that I have today. I hope you guys have had a good trading week up to now, and tomorrow's the last day. Take advantage of it. Trade what you see. Happy trading.